and welcome back to another Alexis Drinks. This one's a special episode for me because we are shooting in my parents' backyard, but it's my backyard, it's fine. We're here today with Robin Shreeves, who is a longtime wine journalist, wine content creator, very big, early, and long supporter of the craft alcohol industry in our state. And so, you know, that sort of thing is really, I'm very passionate about. And I look to Robin and the things that she's done in her world and kind of emulate it, but never. And Robin now has her own content platform called Thinking Outside the Bottle.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Thinking Outside the Bottle is, it serves two purposes. So I have a partner, her name's Kathleen Wilcox, and she is a wine writer also. She lives up in the Hudson Valley, and she is very similar to me. She does wine globally, but she's passionate about what's local in the Hudson Valley. They have great wines up there. She's also passionate about sustainability, as I am.
Nice.
So we work together very well. And so we are a drinks writing website for a content writing website for the drinks industry.
Right.
And so we can do website content for wine, wineries, breweries, distilleries, cideries, whoever wants that. We do press releases. We do, we can write pitches, emails, targeted emails.
Pretty much anything, if you need it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
And
I love that you're hooked up to the Hudson Valley because everyone in the beer industry in New Jersey knows that the Hudson Valley is like where to look for an investment in tourism in their craft alcohol.
Have you ever been up there?
I have not, but like
It is
participatory research?
Stunningly beautiful.
Right.
I was just up there 2 weekends ago. This time 2 weeks ago, I was judging the Hudson Valley wine competition.
Oh.
And little tiny towns, mountains, beautiful scenery, and you can't turn around without it being, we've got local drinks, we've got local food, they're very much into what they produce there.
See, I love that. And that's driven by the industry, but also the legislators and you know, the folks in charge.
Yes.
So something we could learn from here in Jersey.
What we could really learn from is that the restaurants there support those local producers big time.
Which is huge.
And our restaurants tend to support the local breweries. Once in a while you'll get a vodka or something. Very rarely do I ever see local wine on a restaurant's menu.
Let's work on that, Jersey. Come on. There's a lot of great wine in New Jersey.
There is.
But our first bottle of wine is not. Let's talk about what we're drinking because I'm excited.
Okay, so the first bottle we have here, nice, is a bottle of Ruffino Chianti. And I brought this, so Alexis asked me to bring sort of 3 bottles that helped me along my wine journey. And this was the first house wine that I ever had in my own home about 12, 13 years ago. It would be our Friday night pizza wine. It was probably $5.99 then. You can get it for $8.99, $9.99 now.
Okay.
And why it's important, besides the fact that it was my first house wine, it was my first wine that made me say, I don't understand. Like, is Ruffino an area? Is Ruffino a grape? What is Chianti?
Okay, so this is the one that sparked that inquisitive, you know.
Yeah, like what is it? So we had it at Ralph's Italian in South Philly, that really old Italian restaurant that's like one of the oldest in the country.
When you said Ralph's, I thought you meant ours here in Haddon Heights.
No, I'm very familiar with that place too, but the one in South Philly, and came home and found out that you could just buy it anywhere.
Yeah.
They're a huge company. I've actually been there since about 3 years ago. They flew me out to check out all their offerings.
That's awesome.
It's really nice to travel on someone else's dime.
Yeah, well, I think let this be an inspiration to you. You could find something that you really like, and then one day be flown on a trip to go learn more about them.
Yes.
Heck, just put your passion into it, kids.
Start liking Italian wine, writing about Italian wine, and then Italy will just keep bringing you over.
Yeah.
All right. So what I learned was that in Italy and all through Europe, they don't name their wines after their grapes. So if you get a California Cabernet Sauvignon, you know that it's a Cabernet Sauvignon and that's the grape.
Okay.
But in Europe, the predominant way that they label their wines is by region.
Okay.
So Chianti is a region
Okay.
in Tuscany, and the main grape that goes into Chianti wines is Sangiovese. So we have Sangioveses here in the United States, but they're called Sangiovese.
Yeah.
In Tuscany, it's called Chianti because Sangiovese is what is allowed in the Chianti wines.
Okay.
So they have a
All
lot
right.
of rules about what grapes can and what grapes can't. Ruffino is the name brand, is the name of the winery, and it always confused me because they have like 15 different levels. So I would see Ruffino, and I'm like, what's the difference between one and the other?
Right.
This is their, their basic wine. They have wines that go up well into over $100.
Oh,
but this is a really great Friday night pizza wine for under $10.
Which, I can get behind because I love a good Friday night pizza.
From Ralph's in Haddon Heights.
From Ralph's and Haddon Heights.
Yeah.
Or Bruno's in Haddon Township.
Oh, square pizza from Bruno's, yeah.
I might, in fact, have a tomato pie inside.
Very nice. All right, so give it a swirl. We poured it a little bit early.
Yes.
So that it had a little time to open. So if you have a $10, $12, $15 bottle of red, opening it early, maybe decanting it would really help.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. And so I feel like Chianti is like one of those wines that I don't drink often. I think that my wine palate is very underdeveloped, despite the fact that like when I was in college, it's all I drank. I was in the, Finger Lakes region.
Oh, yeah.
So like, all of those wines, but they are very sweet. And I think a lot of those wines that you get here in New Jersey tend to be on the sweeter side of like what you see. But our grapes are not as sweet as I think they are.
They aren't, and it's really changing. So when you were in college in the Finger Lakes, 15 years ago or so?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine, guys.
It has changed greatly in the past 15 years. So everything is going towards dry. So here in New Jersey, there's so much dry wine now too.
Oh, awesome.
We're known still for sweet wines. That is something that many people, the wineries and the journalists, are working to change. And we still have them, and we still should have them because people get to drink what they like.
Right.
But there's a lot of dry.
If New Jersey's sweet wines are how you get into wines, then you can like work your way into the dry.
Well, sweet wine is how many people get into wines.
Yeah.
And I'll argue with different wine snobs about, the kids, they only want the sweet wines. I'm like, well, we raise them on Coke and sweet drinks, and unless they've drunk coffee or tea black, they've never had dry tannic beverages before. Of course they're going to start with the sweet wines.
Yeah.
And I did. I was, the Sutter Home White Zinfandel drinker way back when.
Yeah,
and it's the gateway wine.
The gateway wine.
The gateway wine.
I love it. I love it. And that's fine, and that's great. But this is lovely. This I would absolutely eat with my pizza.
Under $10.
Under $10.
Yeah.
So if you're having a night out on a budget.
And the people who make it are fantastic. They are incredibly sustainably minded.
Oh, I like that.
They work very hard in all their different vineyards. They have about 6 different estates throughout Tuscany to be as environmentally friendly in the vineyards as they can. I've written different stories about some of the things that they do.
Yeah.
And so on top of the fact that it's a good wine and it's a good price, you're supporting a brand. I hate calling wines brands, but they're brands.
Well, sure, everything's a brand, right? Everything is.
That is working to help the earth.
Right.
Yeah.
Wants to see that go on for generations.
Absolutely.
Because wine, like any agriculture-based product, is very reliant on a reliable growing season. And climate change causes really unreliable seasons, right? And
it does. And what we're learning is that as the temperature creeps up, wineries and people who manage vineyards, they can learn to adapt, even move where their vineyards is. What's the problem is what they're calling single events that you can't expect.
Right.
So there's so many more, as we're seeing just more hurricanes and more flooding like we did a few weeks ago.
New Jersey just had 3 tornadoes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't get tornadoes. And if we do, they're like these tiny little things, and we get excited because we got a tornado.
Oh.
We no longer get excited. I now make the whole family go in the basement, and the boys are like, "This is ridiculous," and I'm like, "No, it's not."
I was drinking some Pinot Noir in the last tornado basement scenario.
Yeah. So now we don't know when frosts are going to come. So frosts are now coming after bud break in the spring, and any vines that have already started to bloom and get the grape clusters, the frost will kill them, and they'll bloom again. But that first bunch, they've just lost a whole bunch of grapes,
which is really devastating.
It is devastating. Yeah. We now get hail. We now will get horrible rains sometimes in the fall that make wineries have to pull their grapes before they might want to, because if that rain gets in them, the grapes will blow up and get diluted. So it's not so much the stuff that we can predict. It's that unpredictable thing that happens that there's a little gnat. Sorry.
It's all right. Well, on that note, we're gonna take a break.
Okay.
And then we're gonna see some more wines. Thank you so much. This was so educational, and I'm loving it.
You're welcome.
Go get some Chianti, guys.
BruYou is the app to send and receive drinks. Buying a drink with BruYou is easy. First, select a recipient, choose the location, and then pick a drink from their menu and send it out. It's easy to stay connected with the people you care about with BruYou. Whether it's a birthday or promotion, or just because, sending a drink with BruYou is great for any occasion. When someone buys you a drink, you'll receive a notification with the details, and the drink will be stored in the app until you redeem it. When you're ready to redeem a drink, follow the prompts and show the bartender the confirmation screen. Once your drink is received, close it out on the app and say thanks. Then, cheers! You just received your first drink on BruYou. Available for download on the App Store and Google Play Store.
And we're back with Robin Shreeves. Thank you so much for being here and for telling us all about Chianti and Ruffino. We have a second wine, but this one's from Jersey.
This is from New Jersey. This is from Auburn Road Vineyard, which is, I should know, Piles Grove, maybe? Down
about 20 minutes from where we're sitting, but
it's down south. It's in the Outer Coastal Plain, which is a designated American viticultural area. So the government has said, yes, New Jersey has areas that are really great for growing wine. We have 4 of them so far. There's a 5th one in the works that I can't talk about, except to say that.
Maybe one day.
Maybe one day. So what we're going to do is, usually if you're tasting wines, you do white first and then red. You never want to just pour white on top of a red because it's really going to mess up the wine.
It looks pink.
So what we do is we do a rinse with the wine that you're about to drink instead of with water, and then you're not watering down the wine that you're about to drink.
Oh, that's cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
I love Robin brought her own spit bucket.
I did. Do you know what this is?
Love it.
I go to thrift stores and I buy these. These are from Edible Arrangements.
Oh!
But they're really fabulous as spit buckets and dump buckets.
Hang on to your edible arrangements, vases, whatevers, because they're useful.
Yes. So this is their Soleil wine. It is Vidal Blanc.
Okay.
And this is a little effervescent. They put a little bit of bubbles in it.
Oh, I see them.
And it's slightly off dry.
Okay.
It is not sweet. You're not going to say this is a sweet wine.
Right.
But they leave a little residual sugar in it. I
believe. So it's a little bubbly, a little sweet.
So Scott and Jules, if I'm wrong about the residual sugar, I apologize greatly. And I absolutely love this wine.
Oh, it smells so nice though. It smells effervescent.
It does. And it smells to me, I just smell pineapple. So much pineapple. It's very tropical fruity.
Okay. Yeah.
And this is a grape that grows really well up and down the East Coast, and people do it in dry styles, they do it in sparkling styles, they do it in off-dry styles.
Oh, yes. Okay, I get it. Off dry.
Yeah.
Because you would never call it sweet.
No.
But it has a little bit of a on your tongue that's like, ooh, there was sugar here one time.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
We had a relationship We parted, but we were left positively.
So this is one of my favorite summer wines, even though we just got into fall, but I love this. And this is the wine that I drink on the summer solstice because it's called Soleil, and we usually do a little, what do you want to call it? Like we get around a fire and we throw things in the fire and we do all sorts of saging and all on summer solstice.
Love this.
So this I always bring out just because it's called Soleil. Auburn makes fabulous wines. They make my favorite rosé in the state. And everything from very dry reds to something called Give Peach a Chance. So a lot of their wines are named after musical things.
Yes, don't they have like a white album, something?
They have a white album.
Yeah.
They used to bottle, I loved it, they used to bottle 3 half bottles, and one was called a bottle of red, the other one was called a bottle of white, a bottle of red, bottle of white.
Whatever kind of mood
is it a
you're in
bottle?
today?
Yeah.
Yes.
Maybe it was just the 2.
Can they not do that anymore?
They don't do that anymore, right?
Can we
Yeah.
petition them? Come on.
And this is also a wine that you can get in, all of these wines I got at Total Wine.
Okay, nice.
And one of the things that would be great if you think more New Jersey wine should be in restaurants and in liquor stores is to just ask for them.
Yeah.
Because you go into liquor stores and you do see a lot of the sweeter wines in liquor stores, and that's why people think we're all sweet.
Right. Well, and that is true. In anything, if you as a consumer want to see more of something, ask for it. Ask for it. You know, that's the only way anyone will know to carry something if they're not carrying it. They'll carry the things that are selling, but if they know something else will also sell because people are asking for it, well, take a chance on us.
And go visit the wineries. Just go
yeah.
visit the wineries and have tastings and ask lots of questions. They really love it. You go down to Auburn. They're so fantastic down there. They have a separate kitchen with amazing pizza
Yes.
that they have. They do live music all the time. In the winter, they do movies with a live orchestra that
Oh, that's fun.
Scores
Yeah.
the movie for you.
So, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So
go to Auburn Road, kids.
yeah, go to Auburn
get
Road.
after this.
Go to any New Jersey winery though.
Truly. And if you go, let me know you're going. I'll come.
Yeah.
I'll call Robin. We'll be. It's going to be fun.
So I know you did a segment with Scott from Bellevue recently. Go to Bellevue.
Oh yeah, that was
is
a lot of fun.
a great winery. Any of the wineries in the Outer Coastal Plain, or head up north to Hunterdon County and the other one. Right above Hunterdon County.
That one.
Yeah, that one.
Great. It's glorious. It's fine.
I'm a South Jersey girl through and through.
Find a Jersey winery.
Yes.
Go to it. You'll not be disappointed. And what would you eat with this? I mean, because if we're gonna.
So, there are some wines that I call sitting on the deck at your shore rental house, watching, after your day at the beach. So this is a wine you can drink totally on its own. This Chianti, I kind of want food with. Right? This you can drink totally on its own. But wine pairing isn't as difficult as everyone tries to make it out to be. So you take a sip, you take a bite. If they don't fight each other, then it pairs just fine.
Glorious.
So, drink it with whatever you want.
I also love this trial by eating. Love it.
Yes.
And I know we have another wine too. And
we
big
do.
story with that.
And a big story with that.
I'm going to also
Okay.
keep drinking this.
All right, you keep drinking. So the last bottle that I brought is Ferrari Trento dock. So it's northern Italy. It's right, the region is right underneath the Dolomites, and you really feel like Julie Andrews is about to just come over a hill when you're up there singing from the Sound of Music.
I can get behind it.
And so everybody thinks that champagne is the end-all be-all of sparkling wine, and there's a good reason. Most of it is quality and it's excellent stuff. But there are very good sparkling wines that come from all over the world, including here in New Jersey. William Heritage makes a fabulous $40 Blanc de Blanc, I think, that I think rivals champagne. So this is depending on where you go, it's like a $20, $25 bottle. It is made like champagne is made. And
Champagne.
this is the wine that made me decide I'm going to switch from writing about food and beverage and sustainability in general to wine.
Really?
So 6 years ago, I was there 6 years ago today. Facebook reminded me that I was there.
Yeah, what a nice little anniversary
Yes,
party.
what a nice little anniversary. And they invited me. I was writing for a news network called Mother Nature Network at the time. I wrote for them for 11 years, and I was their food and beverage writer. And they invited me there to tell their sustainable story to the world. They have something called Wine Camp. They invite like 40 wine professionals, and they roll out the red carpet. It was an amazing experience. I was absolutely low man on the totem pole when it came to wine knowledge. There, I was underneath with my phone looking up different terms that they were talking about. And
Making it until I make it.
and there were a lot of women who were maybe like 10 years younger than I am, who just were all in for wine, and they were sommeliers, and they were buying wine, and they were writing and all sorts of stuff. And I thought, this is really what I want to do. Like, I love wine. I've learned a lot about wine, and I'm going to switch my focus to wine. I still write other stories, but I decided that I was going to learn professionally about wine. So I've gone to the Wine School of Philadelphia, which if anybody wants to learn more about wine, they do have a professional track, but then they just have like 2-hour classes where you can go and get an Italian wine class, or you can go and get a cheese and wine pairing class.
Nice.
And it's right in Center City. It's a great school. And these people have the Ferrari people, again, sustainability, they wrote the sustainability rules for the entire region.
Okay.
And all the other growers adopted it because they're so big. The other growers are selling their grapes to them, so they have to.
okay.
They have to, and
Nice.
and slowly like come up to speed. Like they're not like, and that's the great thing about Europe. They're constantly raising their sustainability, and it's mandated. Whereas here, at least in New Jersey, California is a little different. The wineries are sustainable because they know it's in their best interest.
Right.
It's in their best interest to keep their soil as healthy as possible. But there's no mandates.
Okay.
So mandates would even, I think, move other things along quicker.
Tourism and sustainability mandates.
Yes.
New Jersey electives.
Yes. So before, hold on, we're going to cheers this one. Cheers.
Glorious. Very
Yes.
excited. Ooh,
Isn't it good?
that is lovely. Like, it's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
And
very
let's
nice.
take a look at the glass that I have
Okay.
here.
Yes.
So we
Ooh, I like the shape,
absolutely
by the way.
could have served this wine in this glass.
Right.
This is a universal glass. Anything can go in this one.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people serve their sparkling wine in flutes, the tall, skinny ones. I think they're great for cheersing and celebrating, and you're at a wedding and you're taking like the one little sip of, the $3 cooks that they put in the glass. But if you really want the biggest part of tasting wine is smelling the wine, and you can't smell out of that tiny little flute.
Right.
So these glasses,
I've embarrassed myself trying to stick my nose into it.
these glasses, if you see, they have a really nice size middle, the bowl, and then so it gives a lot of aroma coming up, and then it concentrates it towards the top
Yeah.
where your nose is. So it funnels it up to your nose.
Yes, when I first smelled it, I was kind of struck by how potent the smell was. It wasn't aggressive. It was just like
Right.
very like, hello, I am here. I have this and it's a very interesting smell. I really like. It's almost a savory smell to me.
Brioche, bread,
Sure, yeah.
yeast.
There you go.
That's probably the savory smell, and then apple will be the next thing you smell, like a green apple. And a million other things, but in
Sure.
general, those are the two that most people are going to be like, yeah, I do kind of get that.
This is lovely.
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite wines. I give it to people all the time. I serve it all the time. They have a next level up that's about $45, and it's called Perlay, and there's a difference. Like you can taste the difference,
Yeah.
and it's my favorite wine. Like my favorite wine in the world is only $45.
That's awesome.
It's hard to get around here though, so I wasn't able to bring it today.
Well, I appreciate you. I was going to say I appreciate it, and I appreciate you.
I
but
appreciate the wine.
you more. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you
you
so
for
much
having me.
all your wine knowledge. Stick around. We're gonna have a conversation you guys don't get to have, but and drink more of this. But check it out. Check out Jersey, but check out, you know, your Total Wines. Love these wines, and I'm very excited to drink them, eat them. Thank you so much, Robin.
Yeah, but really, if you want the local wines, go to the wineries and buy them from them.
Oh, bless.
As much as you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Cheers. Cheers.